Jets at Patriots on Thursday Night Football. The line opened at 10.5. It's already jumped up a point. It's now the Patriots are now 11.5-point favorites. If you're looking for a silver lining, if you're the Jets, of how quickly things can turn around, the Patriots were an absolute joke 2 years ago. The Patriots were still very, very, very bad last year. They got their coach. They rounded out the roster with veterans who know how to win. And they now have a situation where they are 8-2 and look very much like one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the entire league, let alone the conference. They've already taken down the Buffalo Bills. They're starting to run wild on inferior competition. The only team that you really haven't seen them take down yet is the Kansas City Chiefs. But Drake May is playing at an MVP level. Stephon Diggs looks like the perfect addition to that receiving core. Their offensive line looks as good as it has ever been, and their defense is playing some really, really good football. And oh, by the way, they have one of the best CEO coaches in the entire NFL, someone the Jets wanted more than anything in the world, in Mike Vrabel leading the entire charge. Two-parter here, Andy. Do you think that the Patriots now are gearing up to start another dynasty? I personally think that's strong. I mean, they literally had the best quarterback in the NFL. But you are starting to see a situation build where the Bills are going to be around for a while as long as Josh Allen's there. Now that the Patriots have Drake May, the Jets need to have their quarterback. Because if you don't have a legitimate franchise quarterback, you're never going to consistently compete with the Bills, and you're never going to consistently compete with the Patriots, and that puts you as 3rd or 4th in the division, depending on what happens down in Miami.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're already I think they're the best team in the division this year, and I don't think it's real close. It depends on how good Drake May is going to be in terms of a dynasty. I mean, they have to win first, and it's pretty rare to get a quarterback who's as good as Tom Brady. So, I think there's a long way to go before we're talking about anything like that. But they're going to be good for a long time, and it shows that the Jets, don't necessarily have to wait a long time before they're good, but they have to get the quarterback right. It starts with that, and they'll have to be aggressive in free agency. And Glenn brought that up on Monday, that the Patriots were super aggressive in free agency, and a lot of it worked out. And the Jets are going to be in a position to do that. The question is going to be the quarterback, and we're not going to know until the games start, probably, how good their quarterback is. So that's going to be the X factor, as it always is for the Jets. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of the blueprint that the Jets can follow, and the Jets are in a way better situation than they've ever been in for a rebuild before, in terms of having pretty much an offensive line set, having still a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, and talent that is, played a lot but is still young. So I don't think the Jets, I don't think it's far-fetched to say 2 years from now the Jets and the Patriots could be the best team in this division.
Yeah.
But the Jets have to find a quarterback. It really starts with that. But yeah, at the very least, the Patriots are here to stay. They're going to be around for a while. Drake May is the real deal. And now we got to see, can they get over the hump in the playoffs that the Bills haven't been able to get over.
Yeah.
Can they get over that hump? If they do it this year and win some big games or knock off the Chiefs, and even if they don't win it all, watch out. They're going to be right there for several years. I think that's the only question you have left, because, I mean, how could you ever expect it 8-2? It's almost hard to believe. And it's not
Mike Vrabel,
fluky.
man. Mike Vrabel. The Jets. The Jets interviewed Mike Vrabel, man, and I cannot express how much they loved him and they wanted him. He was their 1-1. They wanted Mike Vrabel more than anything else, so much so that I heard that when he was on his way to take the Patriots job, they made a last-second call to say, is there anything we can do to give you this job? Full control, more money, what do you want? What can we do to change your mind? And truthfully, I know this from talking to people close to Vrabel, he did not use the Jets as this toy. He wasn't just playing with them just to have some fun and then shipping them off and completely ignoring them. He was as interested in the Jets as the Jets were interested in him. And if the Patriots job had not opened, I genuinely believe that Mike Vrabel was going to take the Jets job. He was going to take the Jets job if the Patriots job did not open. He connected that well with Jaime, connected that well with Woody, connected that well with other members of the Jets brass. It truly was a great double interview. It really was. The Patriots was just the be-all, end-all. It was basically to compare it to a college situation, it was like when you're competing against a guy who has an opportunity to go back and be the head coach of his alma mater. Like you're just not going to win that. Like you're not going to win that if it's when so and so wants to go back to Michigan or Ohio State or Penn State and it's their alma mater. You're not going to win out on that. And it was just the New England Patriots job was something that Vrabel was never going to turn down. And now you're seeing the difference. And you want to question what it's going to look like in the playoffs? I think one of the reasons why the Bills don't already have a ring on their finger is because there's a liability at head coach with Sean McDermott. I don't think he gives them that significant of a tactical advantage when he starts playing against the premier, top tier quarterbacks and coaches that you're going to see on your way to trying to make a run in the AFC. Vrabel gives the Patriots an advantage every single Sunday. And now, unlike when he was with the Tennessee Titans, he has a team that is legitimately loaded with talent and a quarterback. He was winning all those games in Tennessee, Vrabel was, with Ryan Tannehill. Now he has Drake May, who looks very much like an MVP candidate. There is such a difference there, and you're seeing his entire team take off as a result. So, all right, real quick here, Andy, the line 11.5. Patriots obviously favored at home. What is your pick for the week?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like 34-17.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close for the half. I think you could see even a possession in the third quarter, but the Jets are just going to get worn down. They don't right now have the dogs to keep up with New England. They just don't. They don't have the dogs to keep up in this kind of a fight, and it's going to end up, I think, unfortunately for the Jets, being a little bit of an ugly loss in primetime football. But for the Jets, it's understandable. You've traded away two of your best defensive players, and you are still looking for so many pieces that are hopefully going to get you to a point where you can compete with New England, compete with Buffalo. Zach, that's good. Or I had to do it one more time. To call you Zach, if that's okay with you.
We're both going to be offended by that.
I know.
Did you leave?
I know. You're right. I had to reach down again because I realized I threw my sheet, and then this has all the things that I was supposed to say before we go.
One more thing on Vrabel, because
yes.
You brought up an interesting point. Like the fact that he was that interested. I think it's way too early to evaluate Aaron Glenn, but I think like the mystique of this Jets job is like if you can win here, it's like the ultimate challenge. And I think like as long as these guys in the future, any position gets assurance that like they're going to get to do their thing, I think the Jets will be able to compete with anybody for jobs because whoever does figure this out is going to be like, it's going to make Joe Namath seem like not that big of a deal. Like it's going to be that big of a deal. And I think every potential coach out there knows that. And there'll always be some guys like Ben Johnson who aren't going to be interested. But for the most part, I think like this job is becoming weirdly more appealing by the year that they don't get it done.